Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites, where I have new videos for you every Tuesday. Today's video is a review of Whitney English's new planner called the Week on One Page Planner. The nickname for it that she's given it is Whoop. W-O-O-P, because week on one page. On the inside cover, it says it's the week on one page format. I have a feeling that she is going to be coming out with some other layouts as she has just jumped back into the planner world, and I am so excited that she has. If you don't know, Whitney English was the creator of Day Designer. She sold that planner company many years ago. I don't know the exact details of that sale, and so she hasn't been creating planners for several years. I believe that she gives a lot of information on this on her blog, on her website. So go check that out because she also blogs if you're interested in the backstory on that. This is her very first planner creation since she sold Day Designer. This is very exciting to those of us in the planner world. And I am so excited that they sent me a planner so that I could review it for you guys, because this is a planner that I can see myself using. I have talked about this on Instagram. So let's get into it, because this is a beautiful planner, you guys. The 3 covers that this comes in are just magnificent. The inside of one of the covers is a floral, and it is just looks spectacular. She also has little notebooks that can go in this accordion pocket. I love the design of this pocket. I can really tell everything was carefully thought about and crafted for this book, because most planners that are like this, that have a pocket, you can barely pull it out and store anything in it. This pocket is massive and seems so secure. You can definitely stick a little notebook in here. Your planner comes in a beautiful keepsake box. When storing it in your shelf, if you want to keep your planner, this is the way it would look on a bookshelf. It would be a beautiful keepsake item. If you keep your planners from either side, it looks beautiful. So this is the very nice storage box it comes in. It's hard. It's definitely a keeper if you want to keep your planners and store them on a bookshelf. As I mentioned, there are 3 covers. This is the stripes cover. I did not get to pick my cover, but then the inside of each one of your planners is different. And I like that, how the inside lining is a different color, or like I mentioned, one of them is a floral to coordinate with your cover. Now, let's discuss the cover design, because this has already kind of been discussed on my Instagram by a few people. This is a really interesting cover design. Now, I don't know their reasoning on doing it. My guess on their reasoning on doing it is just because you have the look and feel of a bound book, which is just beautiful, and yet you have your coil. It functions really well. I would just prefer it to be, just for my personal preference, a coil only, and I will show you why. When you fold it over, so you can definitely write anywhere in the book that you want to, and it will lay flat. It works really well. I will show you, because I have filled in a lot of January. I have played in this planner. I have experimented with using it myself, and I've been talking about this on Instagram. You can definitely fold it over, and it folds completely flat, and you can write on it. Now, if you're storing a notebook in there, it's not going to be completely flat, because you're going to have a bump from the notebook. So keep that in mind. It folds completely flat. Here's the thing. I just don't love having this huge hangover. And then you have the big hangover on the back. And that's because of the bound book design on the cover. Now, I think it is beautiful. I understand why they went for it in a beauty standpoint, but in a functionality standpoint, I would love it to just have been the coil. The coil is a beautiful matte gold coil, and it is a really lightweight planner, and that is something I love. I also love the feel of the cover. It has a like linen-like texture, but it is not linen. It has a coating. Anything you spill on this is going to come right off. It has gold foiling accents on it. It feels really good in hand. It just feels good. I think they did an amazing job on this. It's such a lightweight book, and I see that as being definitely one of its strengths. I just wish it didn't have this excess. So that's just my personal thoughts and wish on the cover. Okay, the dimensions of this cover, it is 7.5 by 9.1 by 1.25. And that's the cover and the binding. The page size itself is 6 by 8.5. So it is smaller than your typical 7 by 9 planner page. That's one of my other requests. I really love this layout, but just for me and how much I have going on this weekly side, I don't really feel like I need more room on the list side, but I do feel like I need a little bit more room on this side, and I really think I would like a full 7 by 9 page. And that's just from playing around in it and using it for like a week. And the paper is 100 GSM. It is soft cream paper. I do like that it's easy on the eyes and that it's not stark bright white. I actually like that, but it doesn't look yellow to me at all. Not one bit. yellow. You guys, I have fallen in love with the look of this planner, with the fonts that they've used, with the little icons that they put on each holiday. We will talk about that, but I have fallen in love with so much about this planner. That's why I probably have passionate ideas about changes, because I really want to use it. We're going to talk about all these back sections, which I love. I love that there's so many extra sections for notes and reference, and that you have big tabs to be able to access them. Here is my pen test. I tried all my normal pens in here. I did mild liners. I did a fountain pen. And as you can see on the back, absolutely nothing is bleeding through at all, not even the fountain pen. This paper, like they stated, is true. It's a vellum finish that will not bleed through. Yet, because of the vellum finish, there is ghosting, you can see. So you have to be okay with that to be able to use this planner. I just want to give you a close-up on that because I know a lot of people have asked for a pen test in this. So that is my pen test. And then I will also show you the pages that I've used, and then we'll go through this front to back. But while we're on the subject of pens, I've written in here, some of this is my Uniball Signo, and some of this is my Hobonichi Gist ballpoint pen. So it's a mix of those pens, and I've used mild liners. You can kind of see what the back of a page looks like when it is written on. Here we go. Here we have a page that is written all over, and here's what the back, what you're starting your new week would look like. So that's what the paper looks like with writing on it. Let's start at the beginning of this beautiful planner and go through it so that you can see the flow of it. So you have your cover page here, and then you have a letter from Whitney English, and then you have kind of a look at what is in this planner, and she takes you through it and how they designed the weekly page, the week on one page format. Then she talks to you about her goal system. There is a goal system in this planner, and there is a monthly check-in. It's her heart goals system. And her heart goals, it's a whole new way of doing everything, she says. It's about doing less but better in the right order in every area of our lives. And it's help yourself, empower yourself, all your people, resources and responsibilities, and trade and talent. That is what the HEART acronym stands for. She takes you through all that and your heart goals checklist. She talks to you about the 5 important lists, your important life list, the dream list, the master list, the project list, the daily list, and the leftover list. I really like everything she talks you through here. How to plan your day. So I feel like these are really helpful pages. If you buy the planner, definitely read through them. Holidays listed for the year. Now the holidays in this planner are your traditional American Christian holidays. So that is something you might want to know, because holidays are noted with colorful, really fun icons, which I personally love. If you are not a traditional American Christian celebrating these holidays, you might not like these being noted in your planner. If you look at her monthly layouts, you will see the holidays like New Year's Day is noted there, Martin Luther King Day. She just has colorful icons that make the holidays fun. Your monthly layout is lined with these tiny little dotted lines, so in a really light gray. So it doesn't look harsh, and yet you get lines on your monthly boxes, which I really love. And your holidays are written in right there next to the picture icon in a little bit darker, bold print. If you come here and look on the holiday, you'll see New Year's Eve has a firework, New Year's Day has the, number 1 calendar page. If we skip to like Groundhog Day, you will see those things are carried over from your monthly layout. That same icon, Groundhog Day, Valentine's Day, President's Day, those same little icons are carried over to your weekly layouts. It makes your holidays stand out. Your monthly calendar layout starts on a Monday start. Day Designer also does that. That is something to note. It is a Monday start. They like to keep your weekends together for like weekend planning, and also having a Monday start matches your weekly Monday start. This planner also has a really cool feature I love. Every single page is numbered, and they have an index section at the back. I truly appreciate that. I think it is these small details that make it stand out from other planners. Now, we kind of skipped to the monthly layout. We skipped a few pages up here, so let's go back because I started talking about the holidays. Then you have a look at the entire year of 2020 on one page. Your weekends are a little bit shaded out. They just stand out. You have the list that she then referred to back here in your setup section. You have a dream list, a master list that covers 2 pages. Then you have a monthly heart goals check-in, which you're going to have every month, what worked under each one of those categories, what didn't, and what next steps need to to be scheduled for the upcoming month. And don't worry, there is direction and guidance on these. Your monthly tabs open directly to your monthly layout. If you've been around me for any amount of time, you know that is what I prefer. I love the monthly tab to open to the monthly layout. Her monthly tabs are in, I would say they're kind of an ombre effect there. And I like the colors that she has used. Instead of all the tabs just being one color, I appreciate her tab color choices. So we've already looked at the monthly layout, and you will see you don't have any days drawn in for your next month or your previous month. It is just the month you're on and a note section. Before every month, you have a monthly heart goals check-in. Then you go into your weekly layout. Now you've gotten to see one that's kind of all filled in. What I did was I just did my appointments or like my big must do for the day here right on this side. And then any extra things I would fill in on this side. Now you don't have much room for your day. That's why I was talking about I would love the page size to increase to 7x9 instead of the 6x8.5. Although I understand the portability. This book is smaller. It's so lightweight. It feels good in hand. It's so portable. I love the fonts used and how the days are written in. The holidays are noted right next to the number of the date. And then you have room for 4 main lists. And you have a header for each list. So as I was playing around with it for this week, I had like my me list, that just means personal, my channel work, miscellaneous, and others. Others means my husband and my sons, things that I need to have them do. And then my buy list, kind of like your shopping list for the week. You have room for 4 main lists for the week that you can work off while your week is progressing through. I appreciate the check off circles. I appreciate the list just being divided into 4 here and having headers. I was playing around with how I might do a top 3 for the week, kind of under my me list, because I always like to see like a top 3 highlighted of 3 things that just absolutely must be done that week. Gel pens, at least the Uniball Signo DX, tends to bleed when I used a mild liner right over it right away. And that's why I started using my Hobonichi ballpoint pen a lot more in here, because you can highlight right over this right off. Let me try something right here on camera though, because a Pentel Energel and other planners seems not to bleed. Yeah, it seems to dry quicker. So I just wrote with this gel pen, Pentel Energel, and it dries so quickly that it's really not smearing. I didn't mean to say bleed. I meant to say smearing. You know, you will have to experiment with the faster drying pens. The Uniball Signo DX is one of my favorite pens to write in planners, but some planners, this pen does not dry fast enough. In InkWELL Press, it also smears. So it's not just in this planner. Pentel Energel seems to be one of my gel pens that dries much faster if you wanted to use a gel pen versus a ballpoint. I just always like to know what pen I can use in which planner, what I can highlight over, because I am not one to be able to wait while I'm highlighting. Let's look what happens at the end of the month. You wrap up with your monthly heart goals check-in. Well, that's actually for the beginning of your next month. So you're checking in and you're saying what worked last month, what didn't, and what next steps need to be scheduled for the upcoming month. It is a very simple, doable goal setting and check-in system. If you don't like to have a big hefty planner, and if you don't like to have a huge goal setting system just on its own separate, and you just want a small goal setting check-in system within your planner, this is a great one. And then on that same page is your tabbed page. Your tab page is a little bit thicker, but not like cardstock or anything, and it is the exact same paper. So you won't have a problem with like having a different feel of paper on the tabbed page. It's just a tiny bit thicker. Here is something interesting to note. When there's not enough room at the end of your month, you know, when you run out of room and you have to share dates, they share the dates vertically. You know how some planners share the dates going diagonally, and I've even seen going horizontally, but I have never seen vertically before. That is new to me. It does not leave much room for you to write down there on those days at all. I personally think horizontally would have been better, because at least you can write in 2 events on each day. And I feel like vertically, I can't write any events because I can't even fit 1 word in there. So that's just my thinking. I would prefer it to be horizontally. Actually, I would prefer the header to be bumped up, and I would prefer, because I don't need that much room in my header. Sure, it looks good, but I'm always going for make it look good, but also make it practical and functional. And so I say take a lot of that header room, put the word March up here, and put her little crest and her heart next to the word March. Then make us a whole nother row, and then we don't even have to share days at all. Or at least on those months where we need another row, do that. Bump it up on those months. Because this already isn't a huge planner, your monthly boxes are not huge, and I feel like that's a lot of page real estate up there that could be used in a better way. For Easter, you have an Easter egg. For Earth Day, you have a globe. So you get the idea on the holidays. A really cute pumpkin for Halloween. Look at that, you guys. I just love things like that being drawn in my planner. And I'm not really a scrapbooking sticker cutesy person. You know what I mean? If you follow me, you know that. I really just like those things thrown in there because it means I get a little shot of fun, whimsy, color, cuteness. I love to celebrate the holidays and I don't have to add anything into my functional planner. Christmas Eve, you have a tree. Christmas Day, you have a baby Jesus. And New Year's Eve, you have fireworks. At the end of the year, you wrap up here and on the back, they just give you like an extra list page. So you could just use that at any time of the year or at the end of the year with Christmas and needing extra lists, that's there. In this note section, they give you 93 list ideas. If you are not sure what to use these pages for, they give you 93 list ideas on this page. In this note section, it is just more list pages. What I would use this for is when my days get too much on them because there's not a lot of room on the days here, what's assigned to that day, and I need to carry it over. This makes a perfect daily list. Like I can just write Monday, January 1st and make my list and then pick this up whenever I need another list for a day that needs to have kind of a daily list of its own that's bigger than what fits on there. You have 13 notes pages here for lists. Then you have a reference section. They give you these pages to take notes on anything you need to take notes. It's a 3-column format. Of course, you can use the columns or you can write completely across your lines of the dotted lines. You have room at the top for a title or a date. If you want to date your page, every page is numbered. This is just any notes you need to take in your planner. There are 9 reference pages, and after your reference section, you have the index. This way you can go through and any pages that you have important information on. Let's say you had a meeting on this day and you took some notes here in your list room. You could write on page 67, you know, I talked to so-and-so about whatever, so you can easily find that information. There are 8 index pages here. Now, something I just found out while flipping through here, which I did not know. So this is interesting. But when your month ends, instead of having your list opposite that month, you have your monthly heart goals check-in page there to keep it working front to back. And then you go into your monthly layout. For the end of your month, you do not have a list page. Now, there are a lot of lists under your notes section. So you could also make this, you know, your list page for that week if you haven't used it all up. But that would need to be, 12 of these pages for your year. But there are only 13 of these note pages. And if you need a note page every week, you would have to be using 12 of those 13 notes pages just to make up for a page not being here. So I really need an opposite page. Every other week has a list page, but the last week of the month has no list page. I really hope they change that next year. That is the end of the Whitney English week on one-page planner. And this coil works perfectly. I have had absolutely no issues with it, and I've been using it just all over the house, down and up, just playing in it. I've had it folded over most of the time because that's how I walk around with my planners and stick a pin in here. It's just really portable. All right, guys, that wraps up the Whitney English week on one-page planner. I really love so much about this book. It is a leatherette vegan leather cover, and it's just so slim, you guys, and comes with that huge pocket, which I think is major. It's great to have that big pocket. If you're going to make notebooks to coordinate with your planners, then making a pocket big enough to hold that notebook is awesome. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. As always, I love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Happy planning, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.